can't believe it. I can't believe it. Football, bloody hell.
Welcome back to FPL Bloody Hell and to this quick pre-deadline segment before Boxing Day. Boxing Day doesn't really have anything to do with sports, but you know what? I'm going to enjoy football anyway. Before we go ahead into this episode, please, if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, please do so. We'll be talking about a lot of FPL on this channel as well as other videos. If you have a look at best of United starting 11 segments with other rival fan clubs and podcasters, tactical analysis on our devil's advocate, and so on and so forth. But we'll be quickly only talking about FPL in this particular segment. Game week 19 transfers, captaincy, Palmer suspended, Haaland, what's the latest update, and how game week 18 quickly went, and with that terrible bench that a lot of us had, right? So quickly, I won't waste any more time. I'll show you that bench of mine. Frustrating time, right? Obviously, look, there's no hindsight here. The only move, like I said, Lascelles and Gabriel was what hurt me the most. Is I was considering not doubling up with Newcastle, especially since I took Saliba out for Trent. Maybe playing Gabriel was the right move, but I thought, maybe it was an easier clean sheet for Lascelles and Dubrovka. That goal could have come anywhere. Yeah, Gabriel has done that last season, so it's not like the goal was a fluke. But I guess, unfortunately, this is why sometimes you just keep playing the good players no matter what, and hopefully the points return. So this is what game week 18 was. 50 points, Palmer suspended, Wang a little disappointing. Salah and Son getting the returns over there. Saka, lucky not to be red carded in my opinion. Pedro Porro not returning, losing the clean sheet on 2 occasions. Not much hope against Brighton either, but more hope of at least having an attacking return against Brighton. Trent, good move. Hopefully does the same against Burnley. So quickly show you my 19 team. Obviously not the happiest. United, I think Watkins could blank against United, but Villa could win anyway. Archer versus Luton. I think between Sheffield and Luton, I think Luton are slightly better side, but maybe Sheffield at home. Chris Wilder back. Archer can probably get us those returns. I mean, I don't have an option. Either it's Taylor versus Liverpool or Archer versus Luton, right? Palmer suspended. Lascelles, anyway, I think was the time to take him out. He's not going to be starting this week. Options are limited. Either roll or take a free transfer, move Lascelles out, get Botman back in. Money is not the problem, right? Maybe Botman will be starting games. But I don't think Newcastle have the best fixtures in the immediate run, so I don't know if I want to make that move. So a lot to think about, right? And not too much time, not too much data. When is Haaland coming back? Deadline is today. We are not going to have any news till Thursday. If he does come back, he starts. If you have Haaland in your team, and you have Trent, you have Watkins, you don't have any moves to make, you have Solanke, well, great. Maybe just start Haaland. Maybe he plays a few minutes, gets you that goal. I can't tell you for sure Haaland is a sell right now because he could be back for 20 or 21. We just don't know, right? So it's a tough point to be in if you've not already sold him. You've kind of given yourself a bit of a headache, or maybe you might just luck out there. Right now, though, you and I cannot know any more than what we already do because of the lack of information. I believe, though, if you don't have certain players, and I think maybe getting him in and out right now and trying to maximize on those points might be a tight one. Look, Everton could be a slightly tough game, even if he starts, even if you have him and you keep him. Sheffield obviously is the game everyone wants him for, and he could be fit for that. So we'll talk more about that on the transfers page, right? But I think for now, if you don't have Haaland, don't rush to get him back in 100%. If you have him, then you have Trent somehow, and you have Solanke. Maybe you can hold on to him, or you can still play risky, take the -4 hit in and out, going for Darwin versus Burnley this week. Yeah, Darwin has been frustrating, but I feel if he's never going to return, it's going to be this one. And as a non-owner, I feel my problems this week are going to be Gordon and Darwin, which might hurt my rank a little bit. Hopefully, I see it through when things work out, and I think I'm kind of hoping maybe it works out. But logically, I mean, I can hope for a Darwin blank. But yeah, if you don't have Darwin, and if you have him, he is like the one most likely to get those returns this week finally. So I'll quickly show you the transfer pages. I have 5.3 in the bank. If I don't roll, what could I potentially do, right? So Palmer is back next week, and looking at just Chelsea's fixtures, I mean, I don't think I would take him out for a single week, right? Luton, Fulham, Liverpool is tough, but again, Wolves, Palace, City, mixed bag of fixtures, but decent enough fixtures to keep him at least for the next three for me, right? So I think he's the whole till We look at the next break that is coming in, post the winter break, that is. Nkunku, people have asked me, I think it's just too soon, and he has gone up in price. It is a little surprising. Um, 7.3 was what he was at. He got that goal. Yes, he came on last week. I don't think Pochettino said he's not going to be starting a lot of games so soon, right? Yes, Palace at home tempting, but no Palmer, no Sterling. Who's giving us the delivery? Jackson and Nkunku. Maybe he'll change the formation a little bit. Mudrik. I mean, those three players are explosive, but if Nkunku is not starting, then how do you go about that, right? Luton away, we've seen has been a tough fixture. Not too much time between those. Let's say even if he starts Palace, he won't start two back-to-back game in 3 days after being out for so long. If he plays 20 minutes Palace, 30 minutes Palace, and starts Luton, again, not enough time I feel to go in for right now. But if you are somewhere struggling in rank, you in a differential badly, you have Darwin, you have Solanke, you don't want Alvarez, you don't want Archer, don't want Watkins. You think Watkins fixtures are turning. I mean, fair enough. You want to have a good time in FPL, you can do that. Just showing you Watkins fixtures again. It's Burnley home, which you'll be missing though. Everton away, Sheffield, Newcastle, and United again on the other side in February. We have a long way to go, right? So I would just look at it till about here. And I think he could score against even Newcastle. He will score against United. The way United is playing, unfortunately, it hurts. And Everton. But yeah, that's potentially something you could look at. But I would just say maybe too soon, right? Maybe too soon. If you have the money to spread around, and like you have Watkins, Solanke, Watkins, Darwin, you want to move Archer out, yeah, man, fine, go for it. Have fun with FPL. Holiday season, it could work out, but I don't see him starting. So, like I said, what do I do? Lascelles is most likely not going to come back into the squad. Botman should be fit enough with his minutes being managed. Maybe he plays one more game if he's not too injured. I think Share is back as well, so it's quite unlikely. You might even play Burn as centre back, play Livramento on the left. With Hall, he will rotate around over there, right? So I feel Lascelles might be out. That being said, do I want? I don't think so. I think I'm okay with my defense being Gabriel, Trent, and Poro this week. Do I take Lascelles out? Spread the cash around a little bit more. Tougher for me to get in Haaland if he's fit in 20. So banking your transfer helps you get those two free transfers and getting Haaland back in without taking a hit. Could be Watkins or Solanke out for Haaland and changing one of my defenders, maybe Pedro Porro, maybe Son or Salah, depending on how close we are to 20 if it happens in 21, right? In 21, they both leave for AFCON and Asia Cup respectively. So it'll be easier picks there. Next week it might be tougher where you're considering maybe losing out on Salah versus Newcastle or Son. I mean, it's a lot to think about, right? Son will be playing Bournemouth in 20, so tough over there. But that's the point of holding off with banking your transfer. If I'm not, I'll take Lascelles out. Maybe I'd obviously bank Archer is the only one I probably won't play. Who do I get in for? Do I again go for a double Newcastle Arsenal defense after taking out Saliba? They have West Ham, Fulham, Palace, Nottingham, Liverpool. Again, not the worst run of fixtures. So I did take out Saliba with the risk that he might do well against West Ham, but I feel Trent definitely the higher ceiling right now for me. I could potentially go in for a Zinchenko. I could potentially go in for Saliba again. I don't want to do that, right? Could look at another budget enabler in Brathwaite. Again, it's not something you look at the fixtures. It's City, Wolves, Villa, Spurs, City again. I mean, he'll pretty much not come into my squad, maybe unless I have to use him against Fulham or Wolves. But he's at that 4.1 enabler where I get to just hold on. But then again, why would I make a transfer to just have a player on my bench, going to another player on the bench? Not that he enables helping me get Haaland back in. I'll be 0.1 short. Even if I take out Watkins, right, at 13.9 where Haaland is right now. Which is why I feel most likely I will blank. Now, if you don't have Darwin, like me, do you go Darwin in? Like I was saying, I'm a little confused myself, right? He's most likely to haul against Burnley. Newcastle after that, Bournemouth, and Chelsea on February 1st directly, right? And then Arsenal after that. Jota is not 100% back yet. It's just Capco, Darwin, and Salah in the attack. Diaz is also injured, might miss a few games. I believe if Haaland is still going to be out for, let's say, even 20, You have Solanke and Watkins. You have your set attackers. Maybe Darwin's still not a bad shout out, but I don't know. I feel like maybe because I don't have him, so I'm okay not letting you tell you to have him, but I could potentially cost you points. I think the way you evaluate is who do you see returning more in your third? If you want three strikers, then Haaland is not back. Do you see Darwin giving you more points in the next three? Do you see potentially going in for a Chelsea player and Nkunku, where you think that even if he gets to play those 30 minutes and Darwin starts Burnley again, Newcastle he doesn't start, maybe they mess with the formation a little bit. That's what you evaluated as independently, and that's where my confusion lies. So I can't tell you for sure what I would do if I'd be in your place, but this is what you would evaluate. If you have him, don't take him out. I mean, this is the time he has to come good for you, right? If not now, then when? And plus, then he's an easy move on to you for Haaland. If you don't have him, and like me, you have this confusion about what to do. So I can also do that free transfer. I can do Archer to Darwin and not worry about his points against me. I don't think I'll do that. I really don't. I might closer to deadline, but I'll be really surprised if I do that myself. It just probably has to be one of those FOMO where I don't want to have a effective ownership debate with the people who currently own Darwin, right? And him finally coming good and getting those points. Apart from that, like I said, if you're planning in for Erling Haaland, hold on for the information. You get confirmation he's in 20 and you held two transfers. Most likely will be Salah or Son out in midfield. You can go down to Bowen over there, move out Solanke or Watkins, get Haaland back in over there. Two tough players. Or if you have Darwin, I feel then maybe Darwin out is a better move. Obviously, you can hold on to Watkins and Solanke over there, and then that you get Haaland back in. Pretty much simple and straightforward if you want Haaland in immediately if he's playing against Sheffield. If he's not, then we'll come to it next week. There'll be more interesting combinations you can have to make those differential rank games. Captaincy for me this week is pretty straightforward. I think Salah is the best pick. Differentially, yes, you can go in for Trent Alexander-Arnold as well. Son against Brighton is not the worst. I feel he has attacking potential there. Now, Brighton, I think, have failed to score only in one of the last 30 or 34 games for Desarby. So, Pedro Porro, like I said, clean sheet, not much odds, but the way they've been defending this year, Brighton, that is, Pedro Porro will have a good chance of getting in those returns, and Udogi's back as well. My only worry would be if Romero does not play, might blunt a bit of the defensive resolve. So Son might be a little more reserved. But with Charlton being in form and Kulusevski, I feel that front three will do a decent job. We would see returns for Son. So I think Salah, Trent, Son in that order would be my pick this week for captain. Solanke against Fulham, I'm not ruling out. I don't know which Fulham we'll see again. The Fulham has recalibrated after scoring so many goals in those 5 games in a row, right? With the red card, they were a little blunted. They're looking a little shaken right now, but they could just recalibrate against Bournemouth and it could be a tight 1-0 win or a 1-1. So I feel with Salah, I think is a better pick there, and so is Son or Solanke this week. But if that's what you want to do, man, go ahead for Solanke. You all got your points deservedly so, taking the risk against Nottingham Forest. Thank you so much for tuning into this episode. It will probably come out just 2 hours before the deadline. Again, just trying to keep it close to the deadline to see what kind of viewership we get, trying to ascertain how to take this segment ahead in the future. Best of luck for this game week. I'll put up the mini league score on Twitter, so see if you're leading the mini league or not. If you have any feedback, leave it in the comments with your team. I'll be happy to help you guys out. Thank you so much again for tuning in. Best of luck. Merry Christmas already, and Happy New Year to you too. But I'll be doing one more episode before New Year's Eve. So I'll wish you again over there. Best of luck.